What kind of role did Carrick's hit on Patolny have in igniting things?
Well, we do the good, bad, and the ugly. As our post-game after winning a hockey game, we gave him the bad. I thought it was certainly a turning point for us. I thought Olo had a huge hit on Chris Bourque. That was a little bit of a momentum changer for us, but I think the big one was certainly Carrick on Patolny down there.
Just talk about his play in general tonight. Gets the big goal. You're down to 5D. He's playing off shot, and just all the stuff he did to bring this about.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought our young kids in general tonight, I thought the Herbert, Stevenson, and Carrick in particular, those three kids were real good tonight. And I thought Carrick had a strong game last night in Wilkes-Barre, and he followed it up tonight. And let's face it, he's had a little bit of struggles defensively. His plus-minus isn't where he's at, but, Helms has done a lot of video with him, and we've talked to him. I met with him this morning and wanted to make sure that he knew that we thought he played a solid game last night. And I think that, he stepped up to the plate tonight, and it was nice to see him get the goal and the big hit, and certainly could have got our good.
You weren't mired in any deep slump or anything, but what does this say about this team and the character early in the season to do something like this?
No, absolutely. It's huge for us. I thought tonight's win, was just huge, and just fact for the room, because, when you don't want the losing to snowball, and we didn't play. We played okay in Manchester and Worcester, and we could have won those games. We weren't, but last night was probably our worst performance of the year, and we wanted to certainly respond at home with a good effort. And I liked our play early, but I think that just the way we came out and played in the third period speaks volume of the guys was inside the room.
And did you see specific things in that third period that you weren't seeing in the road trip and some of those losses or anything in particular?
Well, I just think that, our turnover ratio, which we keep track of, in the last few games, even our 4-0 shutout, it looks like a great win in Manchester. Our turnover ratio started to climb last weekend, and it was evident last night, and I thought early, and I felt that the weakness of the team next door is probably the defense. I think they've got some great forwards, but if we were able to get the puck deep and get below the goal line and start playing east-west and making them work down low in the offensive zone, that we were going to get in our opportunities. And I really thought that came to fruition in the second period and continued into the third. And we got the power play goal that was huge, but overall I thought that was the key of turning the game around and getting the eventual 4 goals.
3-0 at home now. What sense of building home ice advantage / responsibility do you guys have now?
Well, we've set our goals for both road and home, and we know that we need to take care of business here. And I think that 4-1 on the road, 9 games is 500 hockey, and could have been a couple other wins. But we need to take care of this home stretch here and try and see where we can be at around Thanksgiving, early December, over the next 10-12 games.
What's Moore's situation?
Moore, I haven't had an update on him. I know he missed a couple games earlier there in the season with the elbow, and that's really all I know right now. I know it was the same injury, but at what extent in terms of is it worse than before or the same? We'll have to get an update here shortly.
And what's Broda's status?
Broda hurt his shoulder last night, but it was more precautionary today. He's going to go on the ice in the morning, and if he gives me the okay, he's got clearance to play, and I anticipate just with our center depth, let's face it, I like Casey Wellman, and we're a better team with Casey Wellman on the wing. So if Broda can go tomorrow, he'll be back in the lineup.
So was his absence accountable for sort of all the line tweaks, kind of a trickle-down effect tonight?
Absolutely. Herbert's got a little bit of experience at college. I only used him once at center, but I think Case plays his best hockey on the wing for us, and I didn't think his line was, I thought his line was okay, but to get the most out of him, I think it's best to put him on the wing, so that's why it was a lot of finagling going on in the third period. And if we can get Broda back, then we'll get our 4 centers that we've been going with since game 1.
Same 6 on D, but all new partners. What was your thought process on that?
Well, I think we just wanted to switch things up a little bit. Morsey's been playing real strong here the last couple weekends, and, Schilling and Kondratyk have a history of playing together when I was the assistant coach here, so we thought that would be a good fit. And the fact that Morsey was playing good, and we thought that maybe Moore and Olo could handle Chris Bork's line tonight, and that was kind of the thinking going into the game.
And yet, after a busy night last night, you came back with Phil today?
Well, you know what? Phil stole us a point last night, and it's too bad that we couldn't have got him the second one. And I talked to him post-game and told him that if he came in this morning and felt good, that the game was his. And before I could even ask the question this morning, he said he wanted the game, and I felt that based on his performance last night, if he felt rested enough, that was his game, and it worked out for us. I thought he was fantastic again tonight. I think last night and tonight are reminiscent of in Providence there in the playoffs 2 years ago, and that's good stuff for us. And Coppy will get his shot tomorrow.